Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our show, Family Talk. Today, we have a very interesting topic. It's a question many parents ask. Should children learn about money at a young age? Is it a good idea to teach them about saving and spending? Or should we let them enjoy their childhood without these adult worries? This is a big question for families everywhere. We want to help our children grow up to be happy and responsible. To discuss this, we have two guests with us today. Please welcome David. David is a primary school teacher. He thinks it's very important to teach children about money. Welcome, David.
Good morning, Maria, and good morning to everyone watching.
And we also have Sarah with us. Sarah is a parent and a writer. She believes that childhood should be a time for play, not for thinking about money. Welcome, Sarah.
Good morning, Maria and David. It's a pleasure to be here.
Today, David and Sarah will share their ideas. First, they'll each give an opening statement. Then, we'll have a discussion. Finally, they'll give their closing thoughts. Let's start with David. David, the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. I believe that teaching children about money is one of the most important life skills we can give them. It's not about making them worry, it's about preparing them for the world in a positive and simple way. First, children see us use money all the time. They see us at the supermarket, at the cafe, or when we pay bills online. They're curious. They ask, "What is that card?" Or, "Why did you give that person money?" It's natural to give them a simple answer. We can say, "This is money. We use it to buy the food we eat and the clothes we wear." This helps them understand their world. It's not a secret or a scary thing. It's just a part of life. Second, learning to save is a very good habit. It teaches children patience and the value of things. For example, imagine a child wants a new toy. The toy costs $10. We can give them a small amount of pocket money, maybe $1 a week. They can put this dollar in a special jar. Every week, they add another $1. They can see the money grow. After 10 weeks, they have enough money to buy the toy themselves. This experience is very powerful. The child learns that if they wait and save, they can achieve their goal. They'll also take better care of that toy because they worked for it. They understand its value. Finally, teaching about money helps children understand the idea of work. They learn that adults go to work to earn money. This money isn't just for toys. It's for the important things our family needs. Our home, our car, our food. This connects work with providing for the family. It's a very basic and important lesson. So to conclude, teaching children about money doesn't need to be complicated or stressful. It can be simple, practical, and even fun. It's about giving them knowledge. This knowledge helps them become responsible and confident people later in life.
Thank you, David. That was a very clear opening. Now we'll hear from Sarah. Sarah, what is your opinion on this topic?
I listen to David's points and I understand them, but I have a very different view. I believe that childhood is a very special and short time. It's a time for play, for imagination, and for learning about friendship and love. It should be free from the problems of the adult world. And money is a very big adult problem. First, talking about money can create a lot of worry for a small child. Children aren't adults. They don't understand complex ideas. If we start talking about earning money, saving money, and the cost of things, they might start to worry. They might hear their parents talk about a big bill and think, "Do we have enough money? Will we be okay?" This is a heavy weight for a child to carry. Their world should feel safe and secure, always. Our job as parents is to protect them from this kind of stress, not to introduce it. Second, it can cause problems between friends. Children naturally compare themselves to others. It's part of growing up. If we introduce money, they'll start to compare what they have. My friend has a new video game. Why can't I? Her parents give her more pocket money than I get. This can lead to feelings of sadness or jealousy. It can make friendships about things, not about shared fun and kindness. This isn't healthy for their social life. Childhood friendships should be simple and pure. They should be about playing together in the park, not about who can buy the best ice cream. Finally, children have their entire adult lives to think about money. They'll have many years to learn about budgets, bills, and savings. Why must we rush it? Why push these serious topics into their happy, playful years? Let them be children. Let them build castles with blocks, not count coins in a jar. In conclusion, our main job is to protect the innocence of childhood. Let's give them a childhood that's rich in love, laughter, and play, not one that's measured in dollars and cents.
Thank you, Sarah, for that perspective. And thank you, David. You both make very clear points. Let's talk about some of these ideas now. David, Sarah talked about stress and worry. She's concerned that talking about money will make children anxious. How can you teach children about money without making them feel worried about the family's financial situation?
That's a very important question, Maria. And Sarah is right to be concerned about a child's happiness. The key is to keep it simple and fun. It should be an activity, not a heavy lesson. We're not talking about showing a child the family's bank account or the electricity bill. That's not appropriate. We're talking about things on their level. For example, we can use games. There are many board games that teach about counting and exchanging money in a playful way. Another idea is the 3 jars. 1 jar for saving, 1 for spending, and 1 for sharing. When a child gets a small amount of money, they can decide how to divide it. Maybe 1 coin for the spending jar to buy a sticker, 1 for the saving jar for a bigger toy, and 1 for the sharing jar to help others. This teaches them that money is a tool. It can be used for different things. It makes them feel in control and responsible, not worried. It's all about the way we do it. It should feel like a positive part of their routine, like reading a story before bed.
Sarah, what do you think about that? Can it be just a simple game?
I understand the idea of making it a game, David. But I think, even as a game, it introduces ideas that are too complex for children. Play should be free. It should be about imagination. When you play with dolls, you're not thinking about how much the doll's house costs. When you introduce money, even in a game, you introduce the idea of having and not having. You introduce the idea of making a right choice or a wrong choice with money. What if the child puts all their money in the spending jar and then feels sad later because their saving jar is empty? This can create a feeling of failure or regret. These are adult emotions. A child's playtime should be free from that. Also, it connects happiness with buying things. The goal of the game becomes getting something. I want my child to find happiness in creating, in nature, in friendship, not just in spending.
That's an interesting point, Sarah. The connection between money and happiness. Let me turn to you with another question. David says that these are necessary skills for life. He compares it to learning to eat healthy. If we don't teach children about money when they're young, when is the right time to start? Isn't it harder to learn later?
I agree that financial education is important. I just disagree on the timing. I believe the right time is when they're teenagers. A teenager's brain is different from a young child's brain. Teenagers can understand abstract ideas. They can think about the future in a more realistic way. When a child is, for example, 14 or 15, they're starting to want more independence. This is the perfect moment to talk about money. They might want to buy an expensive phone or go to the cinema with their friends without asking for money every time. They might even get their first part-time job. This is when the conversation becomes relevant and meaningful to them. We can help them open their first bank account. We can talk about budgeting their money from their job. At this age, they can understand the connection between work, earning, saving, and spending. It's a natural step into the adult world, not a forced lesson at a young age.
David, what is your response to that? Is waiting until they're teenagers too late?
I have to disagree, Sarah. I think waiting until the teenage years is too late. By then, many habits are already formed. Today, children see advertisements everywhere. On TV, on the internet, in games. These ads tell them, buy this, buy that. If we don't give them any tools to understand this, they'll only learn one thing about money: spending it. They'll develop the habit of wanting things immediately. It's much harder to change a bad habit than to build a good one from the start. We teach our children to say please and thank you when they're very young. We teach them to brush their teeth every day. We don't wait until they're teenagers to teach them good manners or health habits. Why should money be different? Building a healthy foundation early means that when they become teenagers and face bigger financial choices, they already have a good understanding. It's a normal part of their life, not a sudden, difficult subject they have to learn all at once.
It's clear you both have strong feelings on this. We're running short on time, so let's move to your final thoughts. David, would you like to give your closing statement?
Thank you, Maria. My main idea is this. Teaching our children about money is a positive and helpful gift. It's not about stress, it's about empowerment. It's about giving them the skills to navigate a world where money is a reality. As I said, this can be done in a simple, age-appropriate, and even fun way, through games, stories, and small practical activities like saving for a goal. We're not taking away their childhood, we're adding to it. We're giving them a new skill, just like learning to ride a bike. By teaching them these simple lessons early, we help them grow into confident and responsible adults. They'll be adults who can make good choices, who understand value, and who are prepared for a successful future.
Thank you, David. And now, Sarah, your closing statement.
Thank you. For me, it all comes down to one thing. A child's emotional happiness is the most important thing. And I believe that introducing money and finances too early puts that happiness at risk. It introduces worry, comparison, and a focus on material things. Childhood is so short. It's a magical time that should be protected from the pressures of the adult world. There will be many, many years for them to learn about budgets and bills. We don't need to start that clock so soon. So let's give our children a childhood that's rich in things that money cannot buy. Love, imagination, time spent in nature, and free, unstructured play. Let them dream. There's plenty of time later to learn about finances.
Thank you, David, and thank you, Sarah, for this very thoughtful and interesting discussion. It's clear that there are strong and valid arguments on both sides of this question. Ultimately, it's an important conversation for every family to have. Thank you for watching Family Talk. Good morning.